or chemical compounds of her body, but the essence of her being, the soul. Our bodies simply change. The elements constructed by God, the compounds derived by the Creator, only change form as our souls transition from temporary housing to permanent dwelling. We rejoice with you, and we also weep with you this day as you celebrate the life of Miss June Ireland. We stand with you, we kneel in prayer with you, we surround you with love, and we lift up the name of Miss June Ireland as you celebrate her life. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me. In my Father's house there are many dwelling places. If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? Your EBAC family, Albert Burks Jr., CEO, Bill Singleton, COO, Cheryl Garrett, CAO, and Tia Thomas, President. This 12th day of November in the year of our Lord, 2019. We present this to you, Miss Ireland, on behalf of your EBAC family.
And thank you a lot, Cheryl and Albert and Bill. Thanks a lot for your concern and your support during this time of sorrow that I've experienced in the last week and a half. I'm very grateful for you for recognizing that and being a comfort to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. We are going to move forward, and anytime there's a loss in a family, it affects all of us, and especially the EBAC family, and so on. Mrs. Ireland is a dedicated a person with us, and we love you. Okay. So what we're going to do, we are actually going to go back and start again to continuation. That if you do have questions, you can type those questions in. We do have someone that is looking at the questions and so on, and they will acknowledge to me, and then I will repeat the question and attempt to give you an answer to that. Okay. All right. Now, we was talking about S corporation, filing using the same form. You must file for a corporation, a regular corporation with your Secretary of State. Then you must petition the Internal Revenue Service so that you can get the S status. Okay? You must fill out a form. It's a 2253 for S corporation or subchapter S elections for special tax purposes and the state corporate tax status. So that's for the state of Illinois. Whatever state that you are in and you file for your corporation, call the Internal Revenue Service for the state, not the federal, for the state, and find out about the S corporation. Okay, and this is the form. We're just showing you the form. We're not going to go through the form, but it's the 2553. Now, the S corporation was preferred way for doing business owner. Was a preferred way for business owner to attain personal liability protection while retaining pass-through taxes. This was in the beginning. This is in the beginning. This was the old way of doing things, and people still do it. So it's not outdated. They are not stopping it from being done. They just now institute what? The LLCs. Okay? The S corporation no longer hold much allure for most business owners because what? You must first form a regular C corporation and then elect for the tax treatment. The S corporation shareholders, like LLC members, are protected from personal liability for the debt of their business. Same thing is basically as the LLC. The characteristics of an S corporation: no more than 100 shareholders, must be a U.S. citizen or resident of certain types of trusts or estates. They have limited personal liability protection from the debts and other liabilities of the corporation. Now, one of the things that you heard me say is that you must be a United States citizen. And the reason for that is this: you must pay taxes in order for you to enjoy the S status. You cannot sell this S corporation to a foreigner. You can if you are LLC. Okay? The ownership restriction doesn't have the same organization flexibility as an LLC. The corporation shares can't sell their shares to a foreigner. We just mentioned that. Or a company like a corporation. I'm paying, because now if you sell it to a foreigner who does not pay taxes, who gave you the S status? It was the Internal Revenue Service of your state, because you are a taxpayer. Okay? S corporation can only have one class of stock. You heard me talk about common class A. Then there's called preferred stock that people trade when they want to go public. But in an S corporation, you can only have one class. First thing first, why is that? It cannot make a public offering of its shares, and because an S corporation can only have one class, it can't easily accommodate the need of outside venture capitalists. In other words, when you have a corporation and you are going to go public, who pays the taxes? You pay the taxes. So therefore, you can't take your S corporation and say, I'm going to go public with it. 100,000 shareholders, are you going to pay the taxes for all of them? Think about that. S corporation profit and losses must be distributed to the shareholders in a proportion to their stock holdings. Okay? Let's skip this. We're not going to go through all of that. Go to the next one. We're going to go to the non-for-profit. Like, I understand this. This is a review. We went through a lot of this step by step by step during the first 5 weeks. And I know many people wanted to know about the non-for-profit, and we had technical difficulty. So this is the reason that I'm going back over this. And if you want to know the nitty-gritty of all of this, you would attend all 6 weeks. You can, please go back, please. You can call it a not-for-profit, or a non-for-profit, or a non-profit. Okay? Whatever you want to call it. I advise each person wishing to file for a 501c3 organization to research the state laws regarding corporation and tax compliance and file any required application for tax exempt status under their state law. So that means that when you are applying, okay, for a non-for-profit corporation or LLC, go to your state laws, whatever state that you are in. You must comply with what the rules and regulations of that state. Okay? To be organized as a non-for-profit organization, it must be a corporation, including a limited liability company, trust, or unincorporated association. Illinois form is a non-for-profit 10210. Check with your state. Okay? The forms look like this. They're very, very simple to fill out. The corporation name, the registered agent we just talked about. Okay? The director's street address, city, state, and zip code. It's going to ask you to put down all the directors that is going to be a part of your board of directors. It's going to ask you, the first board of directors have how many members? Check with your state laws, your corporation laws. It will tell you maybe minimum 3. It's in the Corporation Act. Okay? So make sure that you read the Corporation Act, the minimum. Now, when you're doing a non-for-profit company, You cannot put all of your family members on a non-for-profit. The Internal Revenue and the laws would frown on that. Why? You're getting money. You got a 501c3. You're getting money from what? The public. Yes, everybody in your family going to vote yes to pay the rent at the house. And it's not fair. So what they want you to do is to be able to have an offset of people independent of your family. Yeah, you can have your mommy and daddy, but the odd number for the vote has to be someone else not in your family. Okay, and not easily influenced by the family. Okay. They're going to ask you, are you a condominium association? They're going to ask you all of that. Okay, a homeowners association. And you answer yes or no if you are or you're not. They're going to ask for the signature of all those people that is on your board when you are incorporated, their address, the city, for each one of those people. You got to understand something. When you are filing for a non-for-profit, you are doing what? You are looking for money from the public. So therefore, you have to be very careful. Go ahead. Understanding the term corporation versus association. This is important. A not-for-profit company that incorporates are known as a non-profit corporation that incorporate. That means that you have filed with the Secretary of State in the state that you are living in. You are now an incorporation. But if you do not file, an unincorporated not-for-profit is called an association. Make sure you understand that. Because some people ask, well, we are an association. Okay, so that means that you are unincorporated, right? Because if they are incorporated, they are called a corporation. Okay? A non-for-profit corporation has a mission to serve the public interest and must file incorporation papers with the state. We're going to talk about that mission. Because of the non-for-profit corporation work for the public good. Let's repeat that again. Works for who? The public goods. Okay? It receives exemption from state and federal taxes. This means these organizations or groups are public subsidized. This leads to the not-for-profit to be placed in a unique position from a for-profit company. Okay? They must decide themselves to, they must dedicate themselves to the public interest and govern themselves according to certain rules designated to ensure accountability. That word, accountability, when you are dealing with a non-for-profit, you're dealing with accountability. There is a question.
The question was, how do you know when to become a nonprofit?
It's dependent on the mission. The question was, how do you know when to become a non-for-profit? It's dependent on what's your mission. What are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to do something for the public good? It goes back to that word. And I'm going to jump ahead because a for-profit is to increase the bottom line of the company. A non-for-profit is to accomplish a mission. So you can, as you form your corporation, what are you trying to do? What is your purpose? What is your objective? What is your vision? What is your mission? And then if you're talking to and become a part of EBAC family, we're going to direct you into the right direction. Now, people might say, can I get financial independence with a non-for-profit? Yes, you can. It does not mean you got to starve to death. You still got to pay to have a business. And you pay salaries. And then according to the importance or the key experience of that person, you pay them accordingly, right? All right? I hope I answered the question. Okay? Due to nonprofit nature which set them apart from traditional private business, thus they are sometimes called non-governmental agencies, okay, or organizations. Also, because of receiving tax break, the laws require not-for-profit organizations to establish certain business structures. Okay, go to the next. The characteristic of a non-for-profit, it must be governed by what? An elected board of directors. Steering committee members. You as a president or a vice president, you can have subcommittees to help you. You don't have to be the only one. You can have an advisory board. Okay? The board of trustees, the board of governors who owe the organization a trust duty, fiduciary duty, or loyalty and trust. Let me say this. You got a non-for-profit. If the person that you're going to bring on your board cannot dedicate time and be active, you don't need them. They're going to get you in trouble because they're going to fail to do what they're supposed to do. And you, the CEO, the chairman, the co-chairman, the president, is going to be held liable. You owe no one a favor. This is business. The primary objective is for your mission to be accomplished. Everybody want to jump on board, but they don't want to do the work. You must get people that is going to feel that passion for your mission. Okay? You're going to be filing bylaws. When you file for your corporation, you're going to receive what is called an article of incorporation in the state which is operate. So when you file for a corporation, they're going to send you an article. It's an article of incorporation. It serves many purposes. It shows who are the incorporated, who are the board of directors, and it gives you the authority to act as a corporation. It is your legal document. Okay? Your bylaws, rules, and regulations. You must have bylaws. Because if you don't have bylaws to govern your non-for-profit organization, guess what? The state is going to revert back to the Illinois Corporation Act. And it's going to be in general. You want to put specifics in your bylaws. I had a gentleman say, I would like for you to be on my board of directors. I said, sure. He brought me his bylaws. I looked at the bylaws, the first meeting. Now, he was a good guy, right? Good friend. I said, let's have a vote. We want to remove him as president. They looked at me like, and he looked at me, hey, man, I thought you was my partner. I said, I'm just reading your bylaws. It says the directors, the board of directors can vote for the officers. You're an officer, right? You got to make sure that your bylaws protect you. First, it protects you because guess what? It says the issuing of shares. It allows the issuing of shares. It's in your bylaws. It says vote per shares. And normally, I would put down the chairman and the CEO is an appointed position, not an elected official. I'm going to spend my money to start. You're not going to vote me out. I can promise you that. So therefore, the words are specific. Elected officials. They vote on elected officials. Okay? The board, the non-for-profit can have members, but many do not. Non-for-profit may also be trust or association of members. There's two types of non-for-profit. A membership and a board only. A membership organization elects the board and has regular meetings and power to amend the bylaws. You understand that? Bylaws are subject to amendment, alteration, revisions. A board-only organization typically has a self-selected board and a membership whose powers are limited to those dedicated to it by the board. Okay? Let's move on. The legal distinction between a for-profit and a non-for-profit based on its reason for existence, we just mentioned that. For-profit exists for what? To attain a profit. And this is go back to the question that was asked. Non-for-profit exists for missions toward the general public. The mission is more important. The success of these two entities is completely different and measured as such. For-profit is seen as profitable and a success when it increases bottom line and make a profit. That's for a for-profit company. It is to increase its bottom line. A non-for-profit is successful when it attains the mission to the general public. Whatever the mission, to feed the homeless, whatever the case may be. Okay? Because they do not raise money from selling products or services, many are supported by grants from the public and private foundation, individual contribution, and or membership fees. I want you to remember this because we're getting ready to talk about 501c4s. This I'm talking about right now is basic for the 501c3. They depend on volunteers with marketing skills, fundraisers, and sales experience. You get people involved with your non-for-profit. Ask for a resume. Ask your mama for a resume. Because you want to know what her skill sets are. She's the vice president of marketing and never did marketing. Finance. And I say, anytime you get anyone to deal with your finances of your corporation, for-profit or non-for-profit, bond them. Get a bond on them. Money makes people go crazy. You get a grant for $100,000 and the lights is going off in somebody's house. I'm not saying that they are not integrity, but let me tell you something. The devil is a powerful situation there. You understand? In short, non-profit fundraising is for everyone. It requires a lot of energies, effort, and enthusiasm, and creative. In short, non-for-profit fundraising is not for everyone. That's a mistake. I thought I had corrected that. Got so many of those things. It's not for everybody. Dealing with non-for-profit is not for everybody. Not everybody's going to feel about the mission like you, but they will look for a job. I got to go find a job. Man, that's a non-for-profit. I don't care. They're going to pay me a salary. Okay? A non-for-profit organization or a not-for-profit organization in an organization that uses surplus revenue to achieve its goal rather than distributing them as profit. They're asking for contributions to run and to deal with their cause. It's groups or individuals that are working together by vision and passion to achieve an objective, mission, and goal. Now, just because non-for-profit are mission-driven doesn't mean they can ignore financial obligation. That is so important. People think we are non-for-profit. We don't got to pay nobody. Yes, you do. It's still a business. Non-for-profit must retain its revenue for self. Now, this is important because people think that you got a non-for-profit organization, you got to be out there with crying and tears in your eyes. It's not. You can use the revenue for self-preservation, expansion, or plans. You can grow your non-for-profit organization. Designation as a non-profit does not mean that the organization does not intend to make a profit. Yes, you are. You are looking for improvement at all times so you can do expansions and other things. It has no owners, and the funds in the operation of the organization will not be used to benefit any owners. You want to go to jail? Start using that money for personal stuff. It's not for your benefit. It is for the mission. Tax exempt. Non-for-profit organization in many countries may apply for tax exempt status. This is important. You got a non-for-profit does not mean you are tax exempt just because you file with the Secretary of State. There's other steps that you must take in order for you to get that tax exempt status. In the U.S., to be exempt from federal income taxes, the organization must meet the requirements set forth by the Internal Revenue Service. If you're going to start a non-for-profit, please read the codes. Internal Revenue Service has codes. The form used to apply for tax exempt status falls under Section 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code, known as Package 1023. If you're going to file for your tax exempt status, you go to the Internal Revenue Service and ask for Form 1023. That is for a 501c3. Form 1023. They'll send it to you. Or you can apply online. Go ahead. I'll go back. This is how it looked. The application for recognition of exempt under Section 501c3. Okay? And it's a Form 1023. Now, there's going to be other forms in there. Okay? Because there's about 15 501c3s. Okay? I love this piece. 501c3. Absolutely refrain from political campaign of candidates for local, state, or federal offices, right? So if you got a candidate that's going for state, federal, tell me this. Why are they going to the churches? Churches following a 501c3, and you got a person that's running for an office. You did not separate state from religion. The reason that many churches are making mistakes is because when they do a 501c3, they open up all their books. And then they violate the law because the campaign people come there. You cannot have campaign in a 501c3. Absolutely insured assets and earnings do not unjustly enrich board members, officers, and so on. Not operated for the primary purpose of conducting a trade or business. Now, I skipped through that real fast because I'm still worried about that 501c3 with the campaign. I'm still thinking about that. Many churches, you are for the best interest of society. You should have filed for a 501c4. Let's go. 501c3, you see all of this? Charitable, benevolent, all of this right here, scientific. These are what, when you want to apply for a grant, it must satisfy these things. Athletic, scientific, religions, patriot, civil, benevolent, charity. Okay, you must satisfy one of these in order for you to apply for a grant. Fine. Who's going to give you a grant? I'm not going to give you a grant to make you rich. The grant is for you to complete your mission. Private foundations. If you're going to deal with homelessness, girls, athletics. Because your purpose is to reduce what? Possibly teen pregnancy, drop out of school, drug abuse, whatever. Now you can apply. Let's go. Organization organized and operated exclusive for religious, charity. We just talked about all of that. Okay. After you submit Form 1023, the Internal Revenue Service will send you a notice within 21 days of the postmark date. No additional information needed, and so on. After you submit your 1023 form, guess what? They are going to turn around within that time frame, let you know if you got it. Now, if you get that tax exempt letter, you into something, you know? Just because you file for a non-for-profit does not mean you are exempt from taxes. You must fill out Form 1023. Okay, if additional information is indicated, they will let you know. These are all the sections. 501c2, title holding, 501c4, civil. We're going to talk about that. You got all the way down 501c6, business league. You know, just so many. 501c13 cemeteries, trust companies, all of this. You just got so many 501c3s, okay? Let's go. 501c4. That's the best kept secret. This right here will allow you to be able to campaign, lobby, do political things. And it's for the social welfare of the whole society, social welfare. 501c3, you're going to help Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. You can be Pacific. But a 501c4 is for the social welfare. So the churches, are you not for the social welfare? Now, you can have a 501c3 for the missionaries, but you got to have a 501c4 when you're dealing with the society. And there is some situation that the money given to you is not taxable to that person who gave it to you. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to try to wrap up real quick because we got some more good stuff for you. So we're going to take maybe a 5-minute real quickly, okay? We are going to go live because we're going to talk to some people. But anyway, so go get you some water and come on back.